Good mornings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to the Osu Taiko World Cup 2024. It's another year of drumming actions and 40 teams, but only one winner. And it all starts right here in the Qualifiers Mapu Showcase. Today, my name is Yongin. Today, joining with me, we got a returning caster, which is re-upping the Mapu Showcase with me. It's Numanite.
Yes, hello, good morning everyone. You should be quite familiar. This is my 6th year casting Taiko. Quite excited for this year, and I'm looking forward to see what we have in store. Not a pooler this year, so I'm going to be quite critical of what goes on. I'm now an outsider. That's cool, but we're going to see, and I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Yep, and in the same time, we got another voice with us. Actually, a new voice in the commentary booth, and it's one of our head pullers this year. Rafael, hello, how are you doing?
I'm good, and good morning to everyone watching. This is gonna be one of the probably shortest pool showcases maybe ever. We've only got 7 maps this year, so it's gonna be different, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely. I know that the map pool team members and layouts has changed quite a little bit this year. So, Raf, can you give us like a little bit details about those and what you did in the Qualifiers map pool showcase? Qualifiers map pool, let's say.
Well, we have 3 no-mod maps, so that hasn't changed, but we've decided to attempt to combine all the other mod picks into just one map. So we have 1 hidden, 1 hard rock, and 1 double time. As well as 1 free mod, but that also hasn't changed.
I see. It's gonna be excited to see how these 7 maps are gonna do, like how it changed the map pool. Maybe it changed the qualifiers result a little bit. And without further ado, let's get into the qualifiers map pool showcase, shall we? Alright, no mod 1. 6.7 star, wow.
Yeah, starting off fairly high with Meshimas and Nyanya Nightmare. Caden's Nightmare. 6.7 stars, OD7. It's 242 BPM, which is a bit higher than, I suppose, usual.
The very specific star rating is 6.701.
Yeah, that's a really high number compared to...
It's very specific. We don't want to just say it's 6.7. We have to add the 0.701. It's a little bit harder than you might think of a 6.7 map.
That's so specific, bro.
Yeah, we tried to nerf it down, but it might be a bit too hard.
Oh my goodness, Rav. Look, you're throwing already. You're selling. It's the first map of the year. You're selling.
I mean, it's a no-mod 1. If you cannot do this, you're probably going to struggle with the rest even more.
Oh no. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, this may be 6.7, but it's also one of the easiest maps in the pool.
Yeah, you know, we are at BPM of 242. This is quite a comfortable BPM for definitely all of the players who have signed up to play the tournament. And as you would expect with the KTYN mapping, lots of simple patterns here. Nothing. It doesn't look like anything is too uncomfortable. So this is probably going to be one of the maps you see, like, it's going to be separating teams is like 100, 2 100 plays, especially towards the top of the list.
Yeah, if there's anything teams are gonna get full SSs on, it's this one.
Yeah, that's a lot of 1/6. There's a lot of 1/6 in this map actually. Like, really, even though they are mostly mono and like comfortable patterns like 3 cats 1 dawn, but still they definitely require quite a bit of stamina on this pick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's not very long, but it's relentless. I mean, every time I tested this, I got tired. And then there's 6 maps to go after that, so not starting you off easy.
Also a KTYN map actually.
Was that a sample from an Undertale song?
That it was.
Okay, I was like, wait a second, that sounds familiar. Hold on a second.
Oh my god. I can't believe you can hear that. Like, Damn, I can't hear that at all. Alright,
All right.
that's the one, I guess. I guess next map is a tech pick.
Yeah,
What's
this is one of the probably more controversial picks because, as you can see down in the bottom right corner, this is quote-unquote only 150 BPM, which means if you would be so inclined to do so, you could single tap this.
Now
Yeah,
we have to keep single tapping alive. We have a lot of the newer taiko players have been adamant about learning how to ult from the beginning, and single tap is now dying. So we have to make sure that we keep it alive.
I mean, yeah, a bit of spoilers for the future pools, but we're introducing quote-unquote speed tech as a dedicated skill, and we figured that having some sort of 1-8 heavy tech map in the quals would be the right way to test that for the future.
Yeah, I actually I've actually played this map before because I actually know the map before it was like before in another tournament or so. But yeah, this map it's actually a hidden pick on that pool, and slow hidden is usually quite rough. But with some of these patterns are actually really rough on hidden, even though we don't have hidden this time. So mostly about some of these sudden mono bursts at 150 BPM and rough patterns also, especially on this part where I would say it definitely got a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, we tried to introduce a little bit more, conventional tech into this, and also lowering a lot of the SV values down to something more normal.
Let's see.
This is definitely quite a step up from Note Mod 1. You got a lot of interesting snaps here, and they're also combined. It's not like the snaps are not isolated by themselves. You got longer patterns with varying snaps. I think that's going to be really tough, not only for certain teams to hit, but also for them to hit accurately. So I think what's going to definitely separate the best teams from the good teams is accuracy here.
Yeah, absolutely. We had to lower it down from OD 7.2 to 6.7 because it was just too hard otherwise.
Yes.
Quite rough. I mean, really rough rap. Like, damn difficult. A lot of hard patterns. So let's get into number 3. What is number 3, Raph?
Nomad 3, as you can maybe guess by the mapper name there, it's going to be Gimmick.
Yes, I see.
It's Gimmick,
what
but we're choosing a banger for it.
What type of gimmick is this?
Okay. I think I see what kind it is now.
It's got stuff like that, but as with last year, the earlier rounds will be focusing a bit more on just pure scroll speed, slider velocity. So this isn't that heavy on the gimmicks themselves.
I see. Already quite a bit of gigantic SV changes, and even with some of these, I would say at least quite comfortable patterns with bar lines, so they aren't like the most difficult to play in terms of mechanics. But,
Yeah.
With the readings are rough, especially this part.
Yeah. This part got a lot of revisions.
I think that the SV part here is actually going to be a little bit harder to play than the barline gimmicks. I actually find barline gimmicks to be quite simple. So long, I mean, it takes like a play or two, but the waving SV, I personally find that to be harder to hit consistently.
Yeah, we decided to go with the most basic gimmicks here. So you've had bar lines, and you're gonna get one more in the second half here. But aside from that, it's just a bunch of SV.
Oh, that's very cool. And not only that, I'd see there's quite a bit of different snapping with SV, which makes this map really difficult to act.
Yeah, here you go. Here's the other gimmick.
Yep, there it is.
Alright, so if people in the chat who are not familiar with taiko at all, what is this gimmick? So it's basically the big notes, or we call it finisher, is cat, and the small note is stun, which is rat. Wow. Alright, we got
Now
some
we're-
flashing as well.
He was like, now we're employing a blinding technique.
Yeah, with every big measure here, we're changing the flashing colors from dawns to cats.
A map that definitely, I would say, lower skill cap teams can definitely try hard to get a pretty decent score. I would say even a rank bonus from qualifiers. Like you might be able to at least get like 3 to 4 ranks higher in qualifiers just because of this map. So practice heavy
Absolutely.
map.
Now,
That wraps up our no mods. I'm gonna get into the mod picks now.
here we have another custom map.
Starting with a
Legend.
felony, murder. No, I'm kidding.
Well, it's because the title it means crow, and a bunch of crows is a murder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, it's Rofo hidden.
yeah, it's Rofo Hidden. If anyone has played in SGTS, you know what kind of map this is going to be.
It's probably gonna be like, I would say, streamy. Yep, there we go. Yep, really
Yeah.
streamy, S3 heavy as well.
We decided to try and combine both fast and slow hidden here. Which for
I
some
like that
teams,
approach.
some teams might find this a bit cruel. So that's why you have the no mods.
This part right here is going to be a little bit difficult. It's not too slow, but it's about the density. It's a really high density. I could see teams getting a little bit lost here, and then this part right here is definitely long streams. People who are not too experienced with hidden might get lost in the sauce here.
Very good way of putting it.
Not even good at hidden. I'm looking at the map and I already know that I can't play it. Some of these patterns are just rough. Oh my god. Damn. That's I would say it requires quite a bit of a skill cap as well. Compared to last year Hidden 1 where it's just a slow SV. This one it's a lot different. And I would say harder in general as well because it kind of requires player to have higher skill cap to even approach or even play this map with no mod, and adding on hidden on top, especially this part, is really hard.
Yeah, yeah. Now, wait until I tell you this was voted one of the easiest maps by all the testers.
Okay, okay.
You know, I could believe that. I actually can believe that.
Yeah, I'm just bad at stream, that's why.
I mean, Rofu maps are just known to be extremely comfortable.
Yeah, I was about to say, although it's a lot to take in on hidden, the patterns themselves didn't look too difficult, and as long as you understand the general flow of the map, what patterns are decreasing in SV, I think it's going to end up being quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Compared to the two no mods before, I have yet to see the rest. So let's see.
Well, you've seen hidden. Time to see hard rock.
Wow, who's that beat mapper?
I don't know. Overrated.
Oh. I've never heard of that guy. That's weird.
So
No,
we combined
look at this
hidden,
map. Go ahead.
and that of course means we're going to combine hard rock too. So we got increased SV streams. If you look down in the corner again, you can see a BPM change. So look out. OD's fairly high, and there's also, you know, some tech.
So we're starting here. This is the 127 section, I presume.
Not yet, it's coming. Here you go.
This is a 160 section.
Ah,
Alright,
okay.
now there's the speed part.
Be very careful with that slowdown, because it's not easy. OD 8.8.
Yeah, I'm surprised the OD isn't like extremely high, and okay, there we go. There goes the speed power part.
Oh yeah.
I can't read this at all. I have no idea what's going on. Hard rock was nope. Can't do hard rock.
So that's the speed part, and then you're going into the 1/6 stream part.
That's just not nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's really hard. Okay, I can see why your playtester think hidden one is one of the easier maps in the pool. Looking at this one.
Yeah, this is one of the harder ones.
Yeah.
As evidenced.
And the stream just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
That's hard.
This is really difficult.
Yep. That's what happens when you put the mods in one map. Speaking of one map, there's one more to do this in.
Oh, this one.
258 BPM. So this is the fastest pick of the qualifiers pool.
Yeah. In this, we decided not to go for pure speed, but instead a bit more similar to No Mod 1, with obviously stamina, but also finger control and accuracy.
I assume you removed the S3.
Yeah, this has been heavily nerfed.
I see. Yeah, this map is quite, I would say, definitely a map that we have seen before in some other places. It's not a, like, I would say, like, not a completely unpopular map. It's even in rank, the OG version. And this map has quite a bit of, like, quite a bit of, like, offbeats. If the S3 is actually quite difficult, but I guess nerfing the S3 makes perfect sense as a double time pick. With the doublets, I would say this map requires finger control as well for players, especially this part.
Oh god, yeah, I was about to talk about how there was a lot of finishers that finger control 258. This is where we start to get into the point where people can start to get tired rather fast. And with the amount of finishers and now this section right here, finger control is definitely the name of the game here.
Be happy to know that the amount of finishers has also been heavily nerfed.
Jesus, what?
It used to be every other note there.
This is hard. This is also pretty difficult. Brutal pick.
Can you guess who picked this one? Out of the poolers?
Necromancy.
Yeah, you got it.
I knew it. And I guess he picked the OG version, and then everyone else just think of like, well, how about we nerf the finishers?
Yep, that's pretty much it.
I knew it! Oh my god! This is such a necromancy pick.
I mean, it's Psyche. You gotta put him in. There you go. That is your DT.
All right, we're about to finish it off with the free mod here.
Free mod. Let's go. Chroma in the pool.
Played by Welcome to Ender's Nightly Deathmatch.
Welcome to Taiko's World Cup.
Yes.
This one, I thought it was the another set by. I thought it was a set that I know that has this song as well, but it's not. It's actually a custom map by Davidman.
Yeah, I actually looked through every single set of this song, but they were all not quite it. So David stepped up and said, I can make it it.
I see. A bit of anti-mod. I won't say anti-mod, but like mod unfriendly at least. Having quite a bit of like supposed speed changes, and I would say the finisher as well.
That was basically the thought process here. Just don't make it fully anti-mod, but don't make it easy.
At least it's good to see that it's not like another tournament in the taiko community, I would say, where the mechanics of the free mod is actually harder than the no mod pick. That's good to see.
I mean, yeah, this is the only map in the pool under 6 stars.
Yeah, my next comment was about to be, I think this is about on par for what I would consider second hardest. Or second easiest, not hardest. Second easiest pick.
You could say that, yeah.
But of course the name of the game here is not Oh, can I play the map right now as I see it? It's can I play it when there's a mod tacked on top of it?
Or potentially 2 mods.
Or potentially 2 mods, yeah.
Good time to remind people that free mod this year is truly free mod, where if you don't want to, you don't have to put any mod at all.
Yeah, you can. It's a bit different. Like a bit different than rest of the years that you can just do completely all free person being no mod, instead of must at least like a singular mod. When people hear, oh, are you playing free mod? It's actually completely free this time. Free no mod is possible. Which I would say that's also makes anti-mod a bit less likely to be pulled, possibly, because or it would just become a no mod pick.
Pretty much. But I mean, that's it. That's the pool.
That's the pool.
Those are the 7 picks we are kicking off this year's Taiko World Cup with. What are we thinking? What are we thinking after seeing the entire pool?
I'm very.
I mean, it's interesting. It's definitely we've got an interesting approach here to be merging all of the skill sets of a mod in a one singular pick. I think is ambitious. I think it was done fairly well. I think we're gonna get a lot of struggling with Hard Rock.
Yeah,
I think that might be the hardest pick in the pool from my perspective. But overall, I think it was done really well. The no mods are quite balanced. Hidden is balanced in the way that it tackles both skill sets of Hidden quite well. Hard Rock does the same thing. It just might be a little bit. I think the technicality of the Hard Rock might be a little bit too much. Double time, finger control is the name of the game. Free mod is almost exactly what you would expect a free mod to be at this level. Because remember, the qualifiers is not it's not the easiest level. We're pulling it around the quarterfinals in the middle of quarter semis level. Am I right, Rav? Is that where you guys were targeting?
more or less, yeah.
Yeah. So I think overall it was done very well. Hard Rock was a little bit suspicious, but we'll see how it pans out.
I mean, it's also not truly indicative of what sort of maps you're going to see in the actual pools. It's more the skill sets that will be looked for.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with you when I hear the Hard Rock pick looks kind of rough compared to the rest. Maybe also the double time pick if you are like a role player. The middle session is just extremely rough to play. Everything else looks pretty cool and good to play, I would say. Definitely interested to see how the actual map pool comes out. And remember, this week is only the qualifiers, so we won't have any streams until the qualifiers results and the round of 16 map pool showcase. Not round of 16, my apologies, I mean round of 32 map pool showcase. I do believe it's going to be around next week, usually Sunday 2021 UTC. Also, we will be notified on the Twitch titles, so definitely stay tuned to the qualifiers result and round 32 map pools next week. And it was a fun time with Raph and Nimonites. It's a great map pool showcase, even though we kind of speed run it because we only have 7 maps.
Yeah, 23 minute showcase speed run.
Definitely extremely quick one. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing you all next week. Remember to tune in to the qualifiers results and round 32 map pool showcase next Sunday. And my name is Yongin. Joining with me today, we got Raph and Nimonites. Thanks for you guys commentating. We'll be seeing you guys next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Have a good day. Bye bye.
Hello everyone! The final hour, well not the final hour, one of many final hours is upon us. OS Taiko World Cup 2024 qualifier results. You all have been playing very, very hard. I have it on my screen right now. I can see how well you've been playing, but I'm not going to tell you anything about it just yet. I'm just going to let everything simmer just a little bit as we anticipate the results here. My name is Jukes, and I'm joined by the one, the only caster companion, the best caster companion I ever hoped for, Teasel. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. Back again for 2024. This is going to be a really exciting year. Under new management, things are changing slightly with, our pooling. Like, teams are so mixed up now. And as all of the players know, this year has such a toss-up between the teams that could even just make the entire top 8. So, looking at the seedings for each of these teams now, it's going to be really interesting to see like which teams were actually the ones to come out on top in this first stage of the tournament.
Absolutely. I can already see results, you can't. And I can tell you there are some spicy picks in there, or the spicy results, that I'm going to spoil for you, of course, because you are obviously coming from the UK, one of the few teams outside of the Asian world that has actually managed to land the third place or above. I'm assuming you have at least a hunch of the results for the UK and how they played. Where would you personally put the UK seed-wise? Just given that, I feel like the UK at least is one of the few teams that didn't have like a big shape-up in the roster. Where would you see them amidst all of the other teams this year?
I think that they have an even stronger team this year, and the players have been practicing really hard over the past year as well, so I'd maybe place them around kind of 5th seed or something, just based off of what I know about the players and that. But I've heard like so much from like players from other teams all over the world, just how well they've been doing, just everything just seems so unknown really. It's really hard to kind of make good predictions about this year. So might as well kind of not keep everyone waiting too long and sort of get into the seeds, starting with the teams that didn't qualify.
Yep. 40 teams in total. That means 8 teams that will not have qualified, starting with Lithuania, unfortunately, on 39th place. Yeah, kind of unfortunate. The qualifier pool this year was really hard, especially on teams like Lithuania, who just don't have the manpower to get some decent results out of that. So sad to see you go, Lithuania.
Not last place in every map though, so that's one thing to take away.
Onwards, 38.
And for 38th we have Hungary, a team that hasn't made a team in many years actually. Verto being one of the players on the time that they previously had a team, which, could you remind me of what year that was? If you remember.
2015. 2015.
2015. 9 years.
Yeah, it's been 9 years since Hungary had a team.
So really exciting that they managed to put one together, but unfortunately they weren't able to qualify.
Moving on to the 37th seed, Estonia have unfortunately also not made the cut. Last year they ended up on 35th seed, this year dropping a little bit lower. But also the competition this year is just a lot more fierce. I would say a lot of teams have, ever since DWC switched to the 3v3 format, a lot of teams have kind of honed their strengths and got some more players in. And that also means that unfortunately teams like Estonia will just drop back just a little bit and won't make the cut for TWC this year.
Everyone seems very upset over that, as I'm pretty sure that means that Estonia won't have a banner, so everyone can have their absolutely beautiful flag displayed on their profile. And jumping on to number 36, we have Latvia, the other Baltic team. So out of all the Baltics, they're the ones that got first place, but 36th overall in the seeding, putting on a really great effort, full team of 6 players, but unfortunately 2024 isn't their year.
Moving on, 35th place goes to, drumroll please, Vietnam! Out of all the teams, they actually managed to qualify last year and ended up on the 25th place. I say 25th, but they got top 32. They did qualify. They dropped out in one of the first rounds of TWC last year, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough to make the cut this year. They also had a pretty big revamp of their entire roster with only Creeper Brian and Hyder O's remaining, but yeah, sad to see the talent from last year go. Maybe you'll have a better shot next year.
Alright, and for 34 we have Sweden, a team that I personally generally thought could actually be one of the teams that qualifies, so it's a shame to see them just not make the mark. So pretty big kind of rework for Sweden. They've had really good placements in the past, but even further back in the past they've had no team at all. So it's good to see them kind of representing the Nordics once again, but unfortunately we won't be seeing them any further in this tournament.
And now comes probably the most bitter seed of them all. One spot shy of qualifying. Who's it gonna be? Drumroll please. It's Portugal. Also managed to qualify last year with top 32 placement. Again, didn't make it very far into the tournament. But you have some really solid players on there, like Baby Snakes and Warp Zone, who you've definitely heard if you've ever touched Taiko before. Certainly prolific in some other areas as well, other than just being able to play it well. But yeah, sad to see them go, Portugal. But if you haven't heard your country yet, that means you have qualified. And now it's all just a matter of which seed group you're going to end up in. Continuing on.
Alright, the team that just made it in, it's going to be Denmark. They qualified last year and they're continuing on this year. Just a team of 5, but pretty solid roster that they have. You know, they're doing pretty good on roughly all the picks, not coming last place at all, but you know, they'll definitely be looking just to try kind of get one single win for this year and get to the top 24, I think. And with the kind of looking at the ranks and the players that we have, could be doable. So just because it's seed 32 doesn't mean it's all over yet.
Moving on, number 31 is Italy. Italy has had a big change up compared to last year. They've had a really solid roster last year. Got 4th seed and got the 7th place overall TWC last year. Overall, a very commendable effort, but TWC kind of drains the soul, so not unexpected to see a lot of their star players like Ikun and Akaranta and so on dropping off to hand over the torch to people like Ara, Kitemua, Garda, Megalovania, LOL. Yes, that is their actual name, if you haven't heard of that yet. Let's see what they could get up to. There are some long-standing Taiko players in there, and I'm sure that they could cause a bit of chaos, especially in the first couple rounds of TWC this year.
And for seed 30, we have Czechia. 4-player team, the minimum required to make a team. And here we go. They were part of a coalition team last year with Slovakia, but representing just themselves this year. Doing pretty well overall, particularly looking at free mod is the main standout, getting 27th place, which is kind of the main one, kind of better than their seeding, but no mod 1 looking pretty good as well. So a team with quite a bit of versatility, and hopefully they'll do well this year.
Moving on, 29th, and maybe one of the first couple of surprises, it's Peru. Welcome, you have finally made it. TWC 2024 is going to be your year. They didn't manage to qualify last year, but they got Kota-chan onto the team, now with a 5-player roster. Maybe that made a difference here. I'm certainly wishing them good luck with their first run in TWC. I don't know if it's the first one ever. I didn't manage to check that in time, but they haven't been able to play last year, and I'm very happy for them that they actually did manage to make it. So yeah, look at that. Chat is very happy for you, Peru. I'm very happy of you too.
C28, it's going to be Slovakia. The other half of last year's coalition, representing as Czechia. They themselves got 4 players this year and are representing just Slovakia on their own. Really notable players on this team, and like doing pretty well, managing to qualify, and they look pretty consistent all round. No mod or map kind of specifically jumping out as this is their main skill set. So that might make them a tough opponent, as they're pretty good at everything. So that'll definitely be a team to look out for in the first 2 stages of the tournament.
Moving on, 27th seed goes to Mexico. Managed to get 17th overall last year. And yeah, some really solid players on that team in particular. I'm particularly looking at the no mods here. High 20s overall. Pretty good standing there. 3 mods maybe a little bit lacking. That's really their own weakness, it seems like. But in this lower seeded bracket, I can still see them making it very far in this year's rendition. You certainly got the manpower for it. And despite some roster changes compared to last year, let's see what's going to happen. This is just like the big question mark with TWC. There's so many new names on there that I don't really know what to say other than good luck and may you bring your best efforts into these battles of TWC this year.
And seed number 26, we have Hong Kong. A country that's kind of always been present in TWC, seen the brightest days, and right now kind of in the lower stages. Bring in lots of new players though. I think most of these players actually played last year, but they're very kind of adamant to show off the best that they have. Yeah, and even though if you look at the ranks, that does not look like a team that would perform well in TWC. But look at that hidden score, number 16, that looks like, and everything else is looking really strong as well. So yeah, that hidden is going to be pretty terrifying, especially in the early stages. Once again, another team to look out for. Maybe hidden would be a good ban against them, but I'll leave that up to their opposing team to decide.
And 25th seed will be Colombia. Look at that. Didn't manage to qualify last year. Got in by the skin of their teeth in 2022, getting the 32nd seed. But overall, I would say this is at least a pretty good start for Colombia. If you haven't been able to play at all last year, that must feel pretty good overall. Looking at these results, pretty solid all throughout the board. We have actually a 90 place on the 7th code, which was Nomad 2. So again, pretty versatile team, I would say overall, with the mainstays Light and Pirate Charlies joined by 3 newcomers on the Colombian side. Very much looking forward to what they can put up with in this year's CWC.
Seed number 24 is going to be Indonesia, a team that has been one of the few countries to actually make a podium position in TWC, and they are back once again with a completely mixed up roster. They have a really wide range of players, and some very recognizable and some definitely from the newer side, and kind of coming together, doing really well overall. Like Nomad 1, number 19 is really good, and that double time 16th, that's kind of the main standout to me. DT was a mod that I saw a lot of people kind of struggling with, so seeing kind of one of the lower seeded teams do really, really well on that, that's going to be pretty terrifying for their opponent, I'd say. Especially as the seeds will be closer for their opponents as well. So definitely a team to look out for.
And going on, what I would say is the second surprise on this board, at least for me personally, we have Thailand. They have not played at all in the past years, but look at that roster. You have a 130 Banan, you have Ray Tolley, who you've definitely heard if you've played taiko before in the ranked section at all. You have Ponamas, Zero Kongs, and Hidden Enjoyer. I've actually heard of Hidden Enjoyer before, which even regardless of their rank here, 4,655, they will surely pull their weight in the earlier stages. But all in all, I would say these are names that you cannot really mess with overall. Again, pretty solid throughout the board. I think this is the most beautiful result I've seen so far. 21, 22, 23. No derivations whatsoever. Good luck to Thailand as one of the other news entries for this year's TWC.
And here it is. Seed number 22 is going to be Switzerland. Coming back again. A really great 5-person roster. Really nice rank spread as well. And looking at their overall results, looking fairly consistent across the board. Double time, maybe a bit of a letdown. But that doesn't really matter when everything else looks so strong. They've done pretty well in previous years, even if the results don't look so great. Looking back at the past matches, they're getting to like tiebreakers and they're really important matches. They are a team that can very easily kind of get that top 20, 24 spot, and getting C22 this year, I think this could be the year that they finally do that. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they can put up this year, and good luck to them.
Moving on to the 21st seed, and a country that I was very unsure about how it would shape up this year. It's Norway, and the reason why I'm saying that is because they are missing out on 2 of their key players this year. Last year they had Petarde and Loff on their side, who are not playing this year, and they are arguably one of the strongest players in last year's TWC. Ended up at the 17th seed last year and did go up to, like, I think round of 16 if I recall correctly. So they definitely pulled their weight. But look at that, you have a 4-player team as the 21st seed. That's rock solid for a team as condensed as Norway. I'm certainly looking forward to what they can pull off. We have a number 16 finish on Hard Rock and 15 on Nomad 1. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for the later stages, of course, because this is 3 versus 3, and Norway will probably pull the short end of the stick here when it comes to these matchups, because they will need more concentrated power on all their players compared to the 6-man rosters. But yeah, one can dream looking at these results, definitely.
And for C20 we have Poland, a team that is once again like very present across all the World Cups, and they're back once again. Team looking fairly similar to last year, if I remember correctly. Star player there, Cross on number 39, but with really strong supporting players as well. Covering basically every skill range possible. Looking at that, Nomad 3, number 13. So they're really into practicing that sort of gimmick map, and if they're willing to put in all the time and put out a really strong score on the gimmick, they're going to be very committed to practicing the future pools. So even though they're C20, they have a really good strong team morale to push that further. And yeah, I think they'll do pretty well this year, even if this year is a very contentious year.
Going on to number 19, and Goedenavond to my neighbors in the Netherlands. 19th seed goes to our friendly Dutchies. Well, I say our friendly Dutchies, might be a little bit biased there. Just having all people from the Netherlands that I chat with in the techie community. This is a super condensed overall player ranks if you look at the left-hand side there. They had some pretty alright performances last year, but I'm really very much looking forward to what they can pull off this year. Look at that! A number 4 on hitting 3.1 million. This is scary. This is incredibly scary. Not unexpected with players of this caliber, and especially looking at people like Tyronix, Cookie Tree, Strike Eyes, who are very much specialists in their own field. I am very much looking forward to what the Netherlands could pull off this year, and obviously crossing my fingers as a slightly biased commentator here. You guys could do well, but so can the other teams, so keep practicing and you'll get far this year, I'm pretty sure of it.
Why do you call Poland your neighbors? Why do you call Netherlands your neighbors, but not Poland?
Because they are. Because they are.
So we're Poland.
Look. We're taking turns narrating these countries, and I don't need you to call me out on the fact that I nearly failed geography back in school. All right.
Moving on to seed 18. It's going to be Argentina. So that matchup will not be happening, as people were suggesting, but Argentina doing pretty good nonetheless. Pretty notable players. So many of these players are kind of known for their like mapping and stuff like that, but here they are playing in the World Cup. Really, really strong scores all around. It actually looks like no mod are their weakest, which is really unusual to see for a team. So they're really going to be gravitating towards the mods, the hidden hard drop double time. Even the free mod is looking good. So yeah, pretty well versatile team. So hopefully maybe just the no mods in the qualifiers just didn't quite play into their strengths properly, and the first couple of rounds of the World Cup will just be significantly more favourable to them. They're really close to that top 16 seed, so, and with a team like this, like, they have a good shot at that, so they're going to be putting in their all, and I really look forward to that.
And the air is getting thinner. We are almost at the top 16, but we have one more country to cover here. It's gonna be the Philippines. They've been, let's say, a little bit of a mixed bag over the last couple of years. They went through a lot of roster changes with varying results. They have been improving over the last couple of years, and this is certainly another indication that they can pull their weight when it needs to be. You have Aerie on their team, and I'm gonna quote Mango on this one, top 3 taiko meme lords. Certainly helps to boost the team morale here, but you also got people like Jamie and Josh Eco, who are also very, very strong players in their own regards. A little bit of a dip in terms of performance when it comes to Hard Rock, only 22nd place overall, but the rest of the results are pretty solid, and we are slowly approaching the part of this reveal where the teams are gonna come in closer and closer to these 3 million score lines. And yeah, this is really where it goes to show who will make it far and who will make it to like top 4 of this TWC. I'm very excited for what's to come here.
Alright, so the first team kind of making it into the top half, and the opponent of the Philippines will be Australia, seed 16. I'm just, speaking to one of the players on this team. They didn't have a whole lot of faith in themselves, but here they are, top 16. And, looking at that team, it's pretty solid overall. They've got a mix of old and new, and, we've definitely seen from other teams that seems to work well, bringing in the old skill sets and the new skill sets, and can see a pretty consistent result across the board, across all the mods. Double time, maybe a bit lacking, but everything else, if everything else is good, what does lacking on one mod really matter? So they're going to be pushing their all. They've significantly improved upon last year's kind of seeding and placing. So I definitely think this year is going to be a good push for them, and to try achieve that top 16. Quite a few people have predicted them even top 12 in the overall tournament. So maybe now that you see what your seeding is, you'll have a bit more faith in yourselves that you can actually achieve that.
Number 15. What's it gonna be? Germany, Deutschland. This has been a big question mark in this year's TWC. There won't be another German team like the one last year that actually managed to get top 3. One of the few countries outside of Asia that actually managed to make it. They have some big shoes to fill, and Germany is a team that has underwent a full roster change. Most of these names should still be somewhat familiar. You have players like Dioramas and Dragon Max who have always been like bubbling under the let's say under the qualifying line for the TWC team. So I'm definitely looking forward to what they can pull off. But you also got people like Rexak Blase who are very prolific tournament players, but maybe lacking a little bit on accuracy. And this will ultimately get to decide how far Germany will actually make it this year. With this seeding, you can't really tell how this is going to go. It might go terribly right, it won't go terribly wrong. Why did I say terribly right? That was a little bit weird. And I think this accuracy deficit definitely goes to show on Nomad 1, and especially the Nomads in particular as a group, as a whole, with like 2.8, 2.7 million overall on the weakest placement on the Nomads. But it seems like this team is more than ready to kind of pick up Germany's legacy as the mod powerhouse that it's always been. So, yeah. Macht das Beste draus, Jungs.
Alright, seed 14 will be... Alright, it's Russia. Pretty exciting team. A lot of people have a lot of high hopes for them. And clearly they're showcasing that they do have the ability to fill people's expectations. Getting seed 14, number 7 on the Hard Rock. Hard Rock was a map that people were... probably one of the other maps that people were finding quite difficult. Probably voting it as one of the hardest in the qualifiers. But no problem for Russia. Look at those rankings as well. Like 5 of them are really high rank, like top 300. And Mekimos being the team captain, really prominent tournament player as well. They definitely have the skill to help round out the team, and they'll definitely be really useful on things like the gimmick and that, I'm pretty sure. I believe they're also joining the casting team this year, so we'll see a lot of them in this World Cup. But, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Last year they got 17th, so hopefully this year they can make that push to top 16. So yeah, good luck.
Going on to number 13, and I believe one of the community favorites here, we have Turkey, out of all countries. Well done, Fruko, you're back at TWC. Turkey is an interesting country because they got a little bit bullied by the 3 versus 3 rule in last year. Fruko had a lot of weight to pull for Turkey throughout the history of TWC as a whole, and seeing Turkey not being able to play as a result of this change to 3 versus 3 broke my heart just a little bit last year. But it's good to see you all back, and it's good to see you in the high seeds. That is an amazing result. Fruko needs no introduction. Absolute O's Taiko community paragon overall. Backed by players like Neurology and Magath, who are both playing in the top 500 very easily. And look at that, there's only one real discernible weakness in their lineup here. We have 25th placement on Hidden. Hidden always being the thing that I think trips up Taiko players, even at the professional level, up most. And what also usually gets spammed the most, so I don't really blame you there, Turkey. But other than that, you got a number 8 finish on Nomad 1, number 12 on Nomad 2, number 15 on Nomad 3, and the rest is looking just as solid. Good luck, have fun, Turkey, and enjoy the outpour of love from the Taiko community for, yeah, having made it this year.
Alright, looking at top 12, we have Finland. A team that is an incredibly terrifying one at the lower stages of any tournament. Their consistency is absolutely incredible and kind of second to none almost. Looking at their consistency across the qualifiers, you know, 10th, 14th, 15th, 10th, and 11th, they're just showcasing that really, really well. And they have such a strong-looking team this year. In previous years, they've maybe not managed to put out a full roster, or maybe they've not kind of had all of their like kind of best ranking players in the team. But they've done it this year, and this is the year that Finland are probably going to get really far, I think. As long as they can kind of keep up with all of their practice and kind of not get too caught out by the rising difficulty in the pools. But yeah, this is another team that everyone has a lot of high hopes for, and I think this is probably the best year and the best chance that they have to do that. So yeah, really good, best of luck to them, honestly. There's a lot of people rooting for you.
And we are closing in on the top 10. One more country to go. Who will it be? Number 11, Malaysia. Look at that. Malaysia also underwent a complete roster change with the exception of Crab Cow, who is honestly one of the best tournament players in that region, let's be completely honest. You got Von, you got Cody, you got Fong, you got Jakey, you got Henny. All players that I've personally seen a lot just playing in tournaments overall and just playing really well in their own regards. And again, TWC 2024 is the year where legacies have to be carried over from the old to the new. You had players like Seth Sixkicha, AJ Vanilla Ice, Jerry on last year's team, who after their performance from last year, who went up to semifinals, said, all right, it doesn't get any better than this. Let's give the new generation a chance. And with a seeding like that, I can definitely see that happening. Super solid all throughout these picks, except for DT. Slipping a little bit on the 19th place, but you can't really complain with these types of results. You got a 3 million finish on Hidden, 3 million on DT, and regardless of being 19th place, that just goes to show you how fierce the competition was on DT, and also 3.1 million on the free mod. So yeah, good luck to Malaysia. It's one of the best communities out there in Taiko overall. What they are able to pull off outside of TWC as well is remarkable. please keep this spirit and you'll be able to make it far.
Alright, so breaking into the top 10, we have France. A team that is historically really, really good and performs incredibly well in the World Cup. And they're continuing to do so. Really, really nice rounded team. And France is a country that they really, really push themselves and one another to just improve and do really, really well tournament-wise. They host their own tournaments with one another and that. So, you know, that they're continuing to get better. You know, their seeding is, I think it's a bit lower than last year. But, you know, when you have like a mix-up of team members, that's naturally going to happen. But the consistency across all of their results is kind of the main standout. Their worst result being kind of 15th on the hidden, but there's been quite a few instances from what I've heard of teams where, you know, maybe they just got like a chain miss in the hidden or something. So maybe that's just something that's happened here. But I think they're going to do really well. They almost made it to the finals last year in the top 6, unfortunately losing to China in the tiebreaker, I'm pretty sure. But they still have really, really strong. They still have really strong chances this year, and they'll be a really fun team to follow once again, I think.
Closing in to the top C's, one country remains before we get into that. It's Canada. Even without Janitore on their team, who is, I guess, one of the most remarkable people in TWC history on any roster whatsoever, they can still pull things off, and they actually managed to improve their seed over last year, 13th seed and 9th seed this year. I remember because Janitore and Mango did a stream on their predictions, and Janitore sounded really unsure about what Canada might be able to pull off this year. Obviously, you gotta stay humble. You're Canadian. You can't just say, I'm gonna make top 3, whatever. But still, I think Canada can pat itself on the back for these results here overall. 8th place finish on Hidden, 9th place finish on Hard Rock and the Free Mod, and solid results all throughout the No Mods and ETs. And that leaves us with the top 8 left. Who's it gonna be? We know who's gonna be on one of these places, but the other 7 are just as interesting. Let's get into that.
So a team that everyone is really excited about this year saw some spam of congrats to Chile on getting first place in TWC 2024. They will be seeding 8th this year. And looking at that team, it's no wonder why. Incredibly strong players across all forms of skill. And, you know, they performed incredibly well last year. They got 9th place, seeding 8th, putting up a really good precedent for what they can achieve this year as well. Showing that they have not kind of lost any skill. If anything, they've more than likely gained. Incredibly strong lineup, just really good all-round results. Their worst being at number 11, but I think that is our first top 3 there on the double time. I don't think I've seen any other top 3 yet, so already getting into that territory, and yeah, this is going to be a really, really great team. Perhaps this can be one of the ones that makes it even further than their seeding suggests, as a lot of people have been predicting, so we'll just have to wait and see.
On to number 7, and on to another team that has very big boots to fill. It's Taiwan. Remember, grand final last year, Germany versus Taiwan? Because I certainly did. That tiebreaker haunts me in my dreams. But they got away. They got their 2nd place, and they earned it well and truly. By the skin of their teeth, might I add, on the last 4 no's. I will never forget that. They are missing out on some of their key players this year. Most importantly, Stu, who's had such an incredible skill cap. Like, Stu was able to play things that no one else just could. You just couldn't beat him. And that also sort of made the difference in a lot of the picks and how TWC 2023 turned out. But overall, the roster is staying mostly the same. The only change that I'm seeing is that Harryada is new and High Greeks has joined in. But other than that, you have very well and established Taiwanese players on this team. Look at that, you have a number 2. A number 2! Would you believe it, Teasel? We have a number 2 on Noma 2. 2.98 million. Makes you wonder which country got the first place on that Noma 2.
I
certainly
don't know.
help
I guess
them
we'll just have to wait and see. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? But overall,
Could be anyone.
pretty solid. Could be anyone. Who knows? Put your guesses in now as we rapidly approach the final 6 places here. But yeah, overall, good luck, have fun, Taiwan. I'm sure the pressure must be getting to you with last year's performance. Don't let it get to you. Just have fun. You're doing solidly, and the seed results definitely speak for themselves here.
All right, for number 6, it's going to be China, a team that managed to make it into the finals last year, kind of unexpectedly. They kind of acted as a bit of an underdog, but they are an incredibly good team. People have looked at this year's team and kind of seen it as a downgrade, but these players are absolutely incredible. I don't really know what to tell you. Similar team, they got to finals last year. They've seeded 6th. That is the cutoff for finals. They have a great opportunity to do it again, and I think they can genuinely do it. Hard Rock kind of lacking behind, but there's only ever 2 Hard Rocks in the World Cup anyway, so they can just ban one, sack the other, and just win every other map. And most of the time they get through just on the tiebreaker. But if that's what they need to do, they can win their picks. They're going to continue to do that. And I'm looking forward to seeing if they can make it to the finals again this year.
And now I can tell you that you are right about your prediction about the UK being top 5, but where in the top 5? Are they maybe on the 5th place? We'll find out. Nah, not quite. It's definitely top 5, but you're higher up there. We have Brazil on the 5th place, and I've seen a lot of people online speculating about Brazil making another top 3 finish this year, just with how stacked this roster is. Look at that. You got Foxero, you got Skullkid, you got Hero K. Hero K. Let me rephrase that. You got Hero K on your team. One of the most scouted players of this game overall, and obviously other players like Kyomo and me. What? We have 19? We was 19th? Since when? Oh my god, that's quite incredible. And we have a first place finish. Oh, that's fair enough. But you got a first place finish. We got our first place finish, which means Japan dropped the ball once on normal one,
tied.
at the very least. Or they're tied, who knows? But it's very hard to tie with a scoreline like, if Brazil got 3 million, I would have definitely said they tied. But with 2.999 million 53, I don't know. I'm not really seeing a tie there. You can prove me wrong for all I care. But yeah, really solid team overall. Brazil is definitely looking to be one of the strongest teams at TWC and one of the most feared teams overall. Mango probably, I think it was Janitore, put it best when he said Brazil will probably be the gatekeeper for a lot of teams of reaching the top 6 or even the top 4, depending on how the bracket plays out. And I hope that this is the motivation that Brazil needs to not only be the gatekeepers, but to also be triumphant at the very end, to reach for that podium and maybe make another top 3 finish happen. We'll see.
Okay, and for number 4, it will be the United States, seeding 5th last year, seeding 4th this year. Once again, with an incredibly strong roster, RJ Aurora, Phasmata, Zalt, Cheese Salad, Silver Tyrant, and Miniature Lamb. This team is able to cover pretty much every skill set possible. A lot of the time, it's kind of known that the US seems to kind of end up positioning quite a bit lower than what they end up seeding. But with how mashed up this year is, this could be the year that they just kind of manage to rise up above everyone else because everyone just feels so close. And yeah, getting 5th overall Nomad, 3rd on Hidden, 4th Hard Rock, 6th Double Time, 8th on Free Mod. That Free Mod is lacking a bit, but perhaps it just wasn't the map for them. And, with Free Mod having 2 different picks, they have a lot more opportunity on a wider pool. I think, this team, this could be their year for top 3, but you could say that about most of the teams in the top 8, so it's really going to depend how they perform when it comes down to kind of your quarterfinals and your semi-finals. And since Qualifiers is around that difficulty, the fact that they are coming on top over quite a few of these teams is a good indicator that they can kind of at least make it to that finals, that top 6, and hopefully push it further than that.
And we're coming onto the podium. Who's going to be on the 3rd place? 3rd seat goes to South Korea. Out of all the countries, I mean, South Korea has been a TWC powerhouse, let's be real. If we're gonna rank countries by consistency in TWC overall, it's gonna be Japan first and then probably South Korea second. Yeah, this year's team is definitely one that you should be definitely afraid of. I'm looking at the chat. You guys are going absolutely crazy for the team after this one. Please, just let me just say a couple of things for a minute here, right? Because you got Peaceful on the team, you got Pocari Sweat, you got Jonah on the team. 3 players who have caused much fear, incited a lot of fear in a lot of their opponents, be it 1v1, be it in team tournaments overall. And then you got the mainstays like Ol and Labi on that team as well. South Korea last year has met a kind of untimely ending last year, which has also probably led to a lot of their players being swapped out in comparison to last year. You had like people like 44 Josong, I Love Marisa, Rai Raider, also all very, very solid people. But like I said, TWC really takes a lot out of you overall, so no shame in switching up your rosters like that. Looking at the results, solid all throughout the board. No discernible weakness. We are getting so tight with the score differences that the differences are really just like in like the thousands, or like that, or like the tens of thousands, if we're being like really generous. So yeah, South Korea, we welcome you back again as one of the top contenders for the top 3. Maybe you'll make it happen this year around. Wishing you the best of luck.
Alright, and we're down to the final 2 teams. Once we see who is second place, we'll can have the confirmation of who is second and first. So can we get a bit of a drum roll and who will be getting second?
Drumming on my desk. Who's it gonna be?
It's gonna be the UK! Doing incredibly well, seeding much higher than last year. This is really, really exciting for them. So we have Gohigi, Daniels, Horizon, Over the Hedge 2014, Mango Miser, and Cloggy Bobby making up the team this year. Definitely the strongest that it's been since 2020 when they last got 3rd place, and kind of showcasing that rounded out skill across the board in everything. No first places despite being 2nd seed, but everything's still very, very strong. Hidden being their worst at number 6 overall. So when that's your worst, I mean, you can't really complain, can you? So I think I think a lot of people have kind of said that this is definitely like a good year for the UK to pursue top 3 again. But once again, of course, so many other teams are in that situation as well, where top 3 is doable. So who knows? Maybe the UK will do it once again. We can get a 2nd badge for the country, but only time will tell, really. And then we'll move on to our first seeded team.
Who's it gonna be? You have any guesses? It's Japan. What else did we expect, honestly? Look at these. You are right! They actually tied for Nomad 1! Huh?
Of course they did.
Somehow they still end up with 1st place on every pick! That's insulting, Japan. That's really insulting. I thought we had something here. I thought we had something to go off of here. Yeah, need I say more? Really, Japan have completed the perfect run last year, and you'd think there's nothing else that can be achieved after this, except to do the whole thing all over again. And even with a roster that is technically just a little bit weaker compared to last year's roster. Let me just get the names out really quick. Because last year you had Grape Tea, you had Campton, you had Ikumiya, you had Sarah, you had Kotohira, you had Nanasri, which is a ridiculously solid roster overall. Like I said, they didn't drop a single map last year. And this year you have people like Maima, Area Ha, Shamare, and Nekomusia on there. technically, maybe by just like 1/100 difference, Japan has a weaker roster here. But yeah, the undisputed kings of Japan. Yeah, of course, the undisputed kings of Japan, the undisputed kings of TWC. I mean, are back to maybe steamroll the competition once more. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, nothing to comment on here regarding the results. Number one, all throughout the place. And I guess this is like a bit of a personal note. I see people saying all the time, oh, TWC is not interesting. You know, Japan is going to get first anyway. Especially with the result of the UK, which I believe you, Teasel, are probably equally as impressed by as I was when I opened the results before you did. It still goes to show that with so many switch-ups in the rosters, there's a lot of place to make magic happen, and the top three still, to me, is completely unpredictable. I'm certainly looking forward to the many, many great battles that will be fought in this year's TWC. I remember that Mango said that if he was ever going to play for the UK again, then he would play for the badge. And with this confirmation, I guess, for the second seed, we'll see how it goes. I'm super excited, definitely.
I think the player that I'd like to shout out here for Team Japan would be Grape T. I'm sure most people have kind of seen his Twitter posts recently, where he's getting like 8+ perfect scores on every single map in the qualifiers. And I'm pretty sure getting a perfect score on every single map during the qualifiers lobby as well. So, you know, you might think, oh, Japan have it easy. They're still putting in like 10 times more practice than like pretty much every other team, I'd imagine. You know, they're still working really, really hard for this. And, you know, that practice has paid off, getting first place on every single map. And they're definitely going to be continuing that. They have won 10 years in a row. They're definitely going for 11. They don't want to be dropping that streak now, because it'd take a really long time to make it back up again. So, yeah, they're going to be putting in their best effort, and I really look forward to seeing the crazy scores that they output during the matches.
You say Japan puts in a lot of practice, and I'm sure they do, but just given their overall skill cap, they definitely don't have to practice as much as the other teams. I remember that I remember someone said, I don't remember who it was, but Japan could technically assemble like a roster that's like 2 or 3 tiers lower than whatever they had in the past couple of years. They're still gonna probably outperform most of the teams, and if it really got dire, then they could put in the extra practice to still end up being number one anyway. Kind of defeating the purpose that I didn't want to say that, you know, oh, Japan's gonna win first anyway. Stick around. This year's TWC is super exciting. I'm super pumped for it, and yeah, the first glimpse into what awaits the 32 qualifying teams will be presented to you shortly in the showcase. Not presented by us, but we'll be switching over to another set of commentators briefly after a short break, I would assume.
Seems like not sure. I think we're still sorting that out. But yeah, we'll be jumping onto
I'm not seeing the people around, so I'm guessing we'll just take a short break.
All right then.
Oh,
people are coming in, so
there you go.
Want to say hello before we pass you over? No,
doesn't seem like it.
Too shy.
No,
okay.
No, too shy. It's okay. Little shy Swedish boy in here. Rap. But yeah. With that, thank you all for sticking around for the qualifier results. We'll be now handing things off to Enwolf and Raph for the round of 32 showcase. So stick around and enjoy.
All right, Enwolf. Who's going first? Yeah, I know.
It's your time.
Okay, I go first. All right. Right, thank you. Welcome back to the Lack of Intermission showcase. Congratulations to all the players who either passed qualifiers or didn't. To those who did, I suppose you're keen to see what you're going to be playing next week, so why not just jump right into it?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I've seen the pool. I'm very interested to see how they'll play out because it's interesting. It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. One word to describe it would probably be volatile. Round of 32 is typically known as just an SS battle for more or less every single team, but to tell you why it's not going to be that way this year, I think 6 or 7 of the maps in the pool have timing changes, and the ones who don't, you'll be glad they don't.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. After playing through them once, yes, you're definitely right about that.
Yeah. So anyways, that's enough yapping from us. Let's start it. You wanna talk about this one?
So, this is Kisida Kyodan and the Akeboshi Rockets Shinku no Melancholy, a remix of Greenwich in the Sky, Toho song. This is a Nomad 1 map, and as advertised, there are BPM changes. As you might guess from the background, we didn't know that when we chose the song.
Look, we didn't know that, but N-Wolf has worked his entire butt off to make it work, and given that we have an SS for this, I'd say he succeeded.
Yeah, and it took a lot of time, but the song is just too good.
It's worth it. It's the taiko anthem. Those who know, they know.
Exactly. And yeah. So about the map, it's what you would expect in a Nomad 1. It's just 1-4, mostly. Some tricky patterns. So you need to stay away of the map the entire time, but it's just 3 minutes of 1-4.
Yeah, 3 minutes of 1-4 with just about constantly changing BPM.
Yeah.
So you don't only have to focus on the patterns, but you have to focus on trying your best, following whatever you can follow.
The good thing is it still hovers mostly around 216 BPM, and I mapped it and timed it in such a way that there's no unexpected changes. So if you stay in the flow, you should be fine. As you can see in the showcase, it is definitely possible to get a double ace on this.
Yeah, it's surprisingly fluid for being not fluid.
Yeah, that's how the song tricked us.
Yeah. So it's a pretty normal Nomad 1, but after this course, there'll be a little bit of a thingy.
A very nice thing though.
A little bit of a solo.
Can't have a Greenwich in the Sky remix without a jazzy part. So there's some 1/3s going on here, a very few 1/6 triplets. Don't think they will trip anyone up, but...
Oh, you never know. I think there's a reason people tend to ban Nomad 1s.
But you can't ban a song like this.
You simply can't. And the thing is, there's a lot of other things you might want to ban as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we'll get to that later.
We'll get to that later, that's for later.
As you can also see, the difficulty is quite a bit lower from Qualifiers pool as advertised, with this just being 6 stars at 216 BPM.
Yeah, the idea is that everyone should be able to play this. And there it is. That's your Nomad 1. Do you know what's next, chat? That's right, it's Nomad 2! It's going to be Street Hypothesis by Tasuke. Second place in the Hoku Fun Map contest. edited to be just a little bit harder than usual.
This is one of the maps that I thought was interesting because it's a lot of offbeat with 1-6. Like there's probably more offbeat on this map than there's onbeat.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, early round tech isn't going to be just 1-6 spam like you might expect. It's just going to be awkward.
Yes.
As shown right here.
Yeah, we've got obviously 1-6 in triplets or quads. We've got 3 8 nodes. Not 1/3. And well, all shapes of offbeat. And pattern lengths.
And that's only round 1. Bit of an intermission before you get to round 2, but you'll appreciate that.
Also, the step changed there.
Yep. In case you didn't know. Tasuke's pretty good at obfuscating that.
I'm not even sure if knowing that helps.
Yeah, you just have to go for it. If you can play it, you can play it. Otherwise, good luck.
But as you can see, it's just more. It's the first KI, but just more.
Yeah, just don't think too much.
Just play.
Just play, just like you're gonna have to do in No Mod 3. Which is the speed map. Shubuild's Amenkun map by Ikin. Made to be somewhere in the middle of the ranked set. A little harder than what that one had to offer.
I've been living behind a rock, I didn't even know there's a ranked set.
You see, the thing with pooling is, you look at just about every single map and you go, this is great, but it just needs something a little extra. So since this was ranked, we just got Ikin to make a version which fixes our issues.
I think early round speed is especially volatile to that. It's always something.
It's either too much or not enough, but this should be in the sweet spot.
Yeah, there's a quite decent amount of long-ish patterns for an early speed map, like 9-plats, and also just long 1-2 chains with any assortment of 1-4 patterns like this.
Yeah, I mean, last year, round of 32 started off at 270 BPM, so in order to not, jump too far back from that, we've lowered the BPM, but definitely increased the density.
Yes.
Cool story, babe. Now make me a sandwich.
But I mean, aside from the speed, it should be very nice. You're not going to see anything crazier than, like, 2 color changes per pattern here.
It's friendly patterns only. No Mod 1 was unfriendly patterns, and this is just friendly patterns.
Yeah. Which means you're going to have to guess now, is No Mod 4 going to be friendly or unfriendly?
Friendly!
Friendly, okay, let's go. No Mod 4. The, gimmick map? Maybe? Or not gimmick? Yeah, this is... how do you call it? Old school gimmicks?
I would just call it a classic slider velocity gimmick map.
Yeah. This doesn't have anything close to what you had in Qualifiers with bar lines and yellow notes and whatnot. This only has SV. But that does not mean it's easy, as, I mean, hopefully no one thinks.
Very much not easy. And this section in particular, it doesn't look difficult, but when you play it, you have to simultaneously concentrate on the slow notes and the finishers that are incoming, which are predictable. But if you think about them, you will miss on the slowest V notes.
Yeah. You have to study this.
And then the second half here we have classic cut karma / don karma going on. This is the introduction.
Yeah, the entire theme with this map is beginner level Don Karma. I say beginner, but we're in TWC, it's not beginner, this is very difficult. The PI here sort of combines everything you've had before.
Good old cut SV streams.
Man, this is just really nice. Great job, Mew. You did a good thing here.
I enjoy.
You enjoy.
Now we know what map is next.
Do we though?
Do we?
Nomad 5 is a new addition to the usual Taiko World Cup format. We removed the token stream free mod and instead put it here.
And well appreciated, I think, difficult stream map in the put as opposed to the normally simpler stream map that ends up in free mod.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't constant streams, but once they kick in, they kick in. This is also mapped by Zay, one of our playtesters, so if you know him, you'll know that he is quite an old-school player. And if you know old-school players, you'll know that it really shows in this map.
Exactly. I think we've seen a couple of patterns already that showcase exactly that. But that makes this map so interesting. Also shoutouts to the difficulty name background and replayer name.
Yeah, go on.
It's just... it's happy little streams. Bob Ross would approve.
Bob Ross would approve. We don't make farm maps, we make happy little streams. And once again, timing changes. Even if you can play all these streams, you might fumble a bit. Given that it's OD 6.5 and pretty slow at times.
It's very nice of the song to not have a brutal death stream at the very end.
Yeah, a bit of a relaxing finish. Except probably not if you're actually playing this in a match.
Relaxing registered trademark.
Yeah. So that's relaxing. Now on to Hidden One, everyone's favorite nightmare. All right, there you go. There's your nightmare, I guess. Hopefully not. This is a original song composed by Hamu featuring Natsuki Karen, Tsunoni Naritai. Hidden Answers mapped by Quorum. Design work as shown by Sakura and Alex Dunk. Played by both Mew and Sparks so that we'd have something for this. But I hope you like it. One of many more to come. What do you think, Enwolf?
Well, the map has definitely entered interesting territory. I don't recall hidden maps, but if just been entirely... It's like the Qualifiers map, the slow section, but it's the entire map.
Yeah.
And we've not really seen that before.
I mean, it's the slow hidden. And
Yeah,
if
but
we
it's not
have-
low BPM. That's the changing part.
That's true. That's true. It's a new theme we're going with. It's not going to be entirely slow and techy. It's going to be a bit more like this. So that's a slow one. Let's see the fast one. Wait a minute. Where's the fast one? Yeah, that's right. You're at least not for now going to see any traditional fast hidden either. This will instead be something closer to what you usually see in an anti-mod free mod, but with forced hidden.
Yeah, this is definitely... That description field fits well. Like, just look at this right now. It's also the entire change between 1/3 snaps and 1/4 snaps. The song keeps going back and forth while changing slider velocity, and it's
Yeah.
help.
Help, that's a good word. Anyways, Hidden 1 was technically fairly straightforward, just very slow. This one is much more accessible in terms of reading, but it's way more complex.
Yeah, there's just a lot going on.
It's pretty funny. It's lower star rating than Hidden 1.
It's the lowest SR map in the pool. That means it's the easiest.
Yes, of course, of course. Let's disregard Nurin saying it's one of the hardest maps we've pulled so far. Everyone else thinks he's wrong, so let's roll with that.
I could definitely see some discussion about that
Yeah,
upcoming in the week.
I don't doubt it, I don't doubt it. It's a very controversial, unexpected choice. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's a banger. That's important.
Definitely. And it's a change from the usual formula, which is needed and appreciated, I think.
Well, Hard Rock 1 is going to be something a bit more conventional and understandable. It's going to be low BPM and kinda techy.
Obligatory TKS ACK hard rock map?
Dude, he does it so well. We were sort of struggling on what to choose for Hard Rock 1, and then I come in and say, hey, how about this? It just works. It's TKS.
True words have never been spoken. It really just works. It's high OD, but low BPM, and I think many people will agree that's a tricky combination.
Yeah, this is entirely focused on accuracy, as you can see here with the long 1-3 section. With 1-6 triples and doubles. Also going back to what I said at the start about this pool being a little volatile. You can see in the corner a little BPM change. which probably hasn't happened yet, so I wonder what that could be.
Not much left.
Not much left. And it still hasn't happened.
I'm glad it didn't say anything like, there's no difficult patterns in this map.
There it is. In case you're stressed, coming to the end of this map and your team is 200 points behind, keep your cool or you're gonna lose.
It's a
Just
good
because of
thing
that,
we
pretty
just
much.
had the topic of final 4 nodes deciding a map.
Yeah. Right, moving on to HR2. The faster one. But once again, with speed changes.
This song stressed me out so much.
I understand you completely. It's like, oh, now it's fast, now it's slow, now it's fast.
Yeah, it's like this entire intro, it's you see the bracket number 200 and the spawn number 140. It's neither of those, it's 180 BPM. This is 200. It's truly demonish.
Nice. And not only does it change speed, it changes scroll speed all the time, and now it's slow again. And fast again.
But not fast. Fast. It's 180 fast. It even just it stresses me out listening to it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm very interested to see how players perform on this map specifically. Because it at first seems like the usual Hard Rock 2, but it's really not.
I mean, it's unarguably fast. Those key
Except when
eyes-
it's not.
Those key eyes go up to like 210, 220?
220, yeah.
And then there's some fun at the end. Here's your fake out last key eye. Not over yet type beat.
Where's the fun? Is this the fun?
Oh no, the fun is right at the very end once again.
Ah, that was fun.
Yeah, it is kind of fun. I mean, she laughed. Now, you'll be glad to know that DT does not have speed changes. It being DT is hard enough to act on its own.
Yeah. But we've really seen scroll speed changes.
Yeah, this gets pretty fast.
I think the base SV of this map is increased, basically, which makes it easier to hack and read, considering it's this very rhythmically challenging low BPM DT map.
Yeah. It's funny, this is probably closer to traditional tech than the actual tech map. But what can you do?
It's good to have both.
Exactly. People very happy to see Volta picked in the current day.
Kind of like Nomad 2 has quite a lot of offbeat, especially.
Yeah.
Which
As
makes
is-
sense given the song.
I mean, it's tradition for a DT1.
It comes with being a banger song.
Man, that's a tricky one right there.
Yeah, those single notes that are offbeat, those I find the trickiest.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really sharpen your ears for this one. Or rely entirely on vision, which some people do, and it works out for them. There you have it. There's your DT1. Now, having one Toho song in the pool was simply not enough, so we did it again in DT2.
We have time traveled back to like 2010, Taiko.
That's a good way to put it. Every other song is gonna be Toho.
Finally, we win!
Now, this DT2 is more sort of fast finger control focused than the Nomad 3, which was more, simple and raw speed. You'll see that this has a lot of doublets, which at 240 BPM and OD 9.5 can be pretty tough.
And there's even something nastier with the eyes. This.
Oh, the dreaded quadruplet.
Two of them right after another. Evil.
You gotta make it a little evil. Bit of a fun fact, this is another map by one of the playtesters, ForceBet1. But it is not entirely the current version. He actually changed it quite a bit for this.
Obligatory solo. Quite a bit of density increase here.
The one-third, probably in the entire map.
And someone will miss.
Someone will miss. And that'll make it very exciting.
And then there's a break, so they know. Also the team did miss.
Yeah. If you miss, there's ample time to have it rubbed in your face.
The best kind of break. Also, shout out to the background, trolling me into thinking this had its storyboard somehow. The light stroke. I don't play with a dimmed background, and the light strokes I thought started moving when the guitar first played in the song.
Right. Apparently this map also has psychedelic effects.
Yeah?
At least for Enwolf.
Colors.
Colors, yeah. You've had your DTs now, so let's go to something a little more relaxing. And maybe a little misplaced, as it's not winter, or winter's ending. Yeah, it's gonna be yet another TKS map.
Obligatory long DKS free mod.
Some things you can't escape from, okay?
You truly can't. Sometimes not even mappers can escape from them.
Yeah. I mean, once again, it's just, if it works, it works. This is going to have a couple of small challenges for either mod, but it should still be completely doable for everyone. For Hard Rock, you got the OD 9.1, and for Hidden, you got the little slowdown sections.
But comfy overall.
Very comfy. That's what Free Mod 1 is.
It's also a very comfy song.
Since we only have two, they are now split up into comfy and uncomfy.
Oh yes!
I guess that could be seen as a bit of a premonition for Free Mod 2, but don't worry about that for now.
Yeah, we're still comfy.
I may be biased here, but it's probably one of the chillest songs in the pool. Like, if you pick this, there's a chance you just completely forget that you're playing in the World Cup, and just zone out. Have a good old time.
Secret strat for opening match nerfs? Pick Free Mod 1?
Yeah. That's very valid.
This overlap.
It's okay.
It is okay.
It's been tried.
Hidden players do. I still think they should be aware.
You know, one thing you could do to avoid overlaps is to simply play with Hidden Hard Rock.
Yeah. You might see a lot of art on this map because it's comfy.
I mean, that's the goal, really. Qualifiers Free Mod was pretty tough, somewhere in between Free Mod 1 and Free Mod 2, I'd say. But Free Mod 1 here is just clean. Nice and easy. Speaking of which, on to Free Mod 2. Yet another speed change.
This is the kind of song that will haunt me.
Yeah. Anyways, it's Zunda Party Night. 5.18 stars, which is very low. But, I mean, have fun modding this. Because while it is hard, it's not impossible.
I think it's kind of nicely split between the hidden death section and the hard rock death section, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're very correct. This right here is probably unanimously the anti-hidden part, especially this.
$150 BPM is that kind of BPM range where it's also just kind of it's an awkward BPM.
I mean, even if you do hard rock this, the OD 9.1 with 150 BPM is gonna be kind of tough.
Oops,
But oh, wait.
BPM change.
Oh wait, it's fast now. Uh-oh. And then slow again. And then, wait. Yeah, that's right, it's fast.
ESV looks fast too. It's normal, so we don't really notice it.
Yeah. I think this part here is 1.2x? And then it's 1.3x. Which, if you dare go hidden hard rock, actually gets a tad uncomfortable.
Especially because it also looks like the patterns are getting a bit more difficult here.
That they definitely are. At least the rhythm side is. There you go. Anti-mod. Now, the question is, what's left? Do you know?
I think I know. There was no mod 5, so there's no free mod 3. So there's a tiebreaker.
Whoa. I think we should check that one out. All right. Frozen Blood. Did your blood freeze? Mine did. I got chilled from that one. Anyways, map by Homie Love. Design by Boommaster Flex. And storyboard by Melon Boy. And of course, an absolute banger by Uni. Thank you very much for providing this for the round of 32 of the Taiko World Cup 2024. What do you think?
Absolutely insane song. And
Absolutely
shoutouts to the difficulty name.
Cosmic Minds. Very clear influence. We hooked up Uni with all the previous Cosmic Minds bangers, and we got another one. But this time, for us, it's special this way. I hope you agree.
Yes. And it's just a great time. I hope many matches will go to tiebreaker, and looking at the qualifiers results and how often chat was surprised about certain teams placing higher or lower, I think we are on a good track to get a few tiebreakers.
I certainly hope so. Because it would be crazy. Anyways, that's enough. That's from us, I think. This has been a long showcase, and I'm sure everyone wants to shoot off and go practice the maps. Do you have any parting words, Enwolf?
It's been fun. And I'm very much looking forward to the matches next week. The pool is, as Ed mentioned at the start, interesting. I think that's a good word to describe it.
Yeah. Anyways, the usual shebang is going to happen now. You'll get your schedules eventually. Pool will be posted very soon. And then we can all get to work. But that's enough from us, so see you next week.
I watched it fall away. It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my fingers. It slipped right through my fingers. You said never let me go. I watched it fall